Lead them into the fire. Go get married, guys.
Yeah.
No, guys, let's change the laws first, and then we'll get married. That's
And
another
that's where
thing that I preach a lot is we gotta change the laws.
Right.
What do y'all think about whenever you think of the spectrum? Who do you see all the way over on the red pill side of like super praxeology, like scientific based? Who are the influencers or the red pill guys in YouTube that are on that side of this of it? That, in your opinion,
In my opinion, the first one that comes to mind is Myron, honestly.
Myron?
Yeah, and all the PUA guys. That's probably who I would put at the extreme end of the logical side of the red pill.
The logical
Yeah.
side. What about you?
I mean, yeah, I don't know too many dudes that like are just 100% science based. Like I don't really watch shit like that. So from what I watch, I would say Martin, but I don't think he like all the way on that side.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well,
he's like leaning that way, I would say.
yeah, he would lean mostly that way. What about you? What do you think?
Well, the one that I would say that, which is the one they refer to a lot as the Godfather, is Rolo.
Yeah.
I mean, he based everything off of statistics and facts only, and
He's as praxeology as it gets. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
I mean,
he's the one that sticks to it.
I agree with that in what he says, but I mean, like in his personal life, though, you know, like he's not living it 100%. So I don't know if I could put him all the way
Well,
over there.
there you go, and that's where it's up to everybody to digest the information that he's putting out there available, and kind of determine what to follow, what not to follow, what to believe, what not to believe.
Yeah.
Because everybody's own personal experience is going to dictate what they believe in. Like I said, if you've never lived it, it's going to be hard for you to believe that it's possible for somebody else.
I guess there's a big difference on the spectrum between the guys that say a lot of super factual stuff and then what they're living, though.
Yeah.
So like there's going to be a difference in those things, because as we know with YouTube guys, the people are actors. Like they're going to do one thing and then say something else because that's what's going to make money and get clicks.
It's easy to show what you want to show, but to actually live it and do it and be about it, you know, at home where you have somebody to answer to, where you have people to answer to, people that depend on you, you can't just go based off facts. It's fluid, especially when you're dealing with other people's personalities, other people's shared experience. Your intent might not be your impact. Your intention might be to be factual and try to be as correct as possible, but your impact might not be what you wanted.
So like for me, if I was gonna put people on the spectrum, I would say Michael Sartain is definitely very far on the logic side. He's the part of it what inspired me to do this theme for today, or this topic, is because of the debate of the numerology guy that he had, because that's an example of the extreme manifestation, extreme, you know, like because he was always, it's mostly based off of manifestation. It's mostly based off of the billionaires use this stuff, so like if they're thinking about it, then everybody's thinking about it, like, oh, all the people think about this stuff, so it's kind of real, because it's a manifestation thing. And if you go down the manifestation rabbit hole, there are some studies, there are some statistics that show there's a slight, you know, increase in things when you try to manifest or do stupid shit like spiritual shit like that. So that's why I got into this whole mental debate about it, is because it's crazy when you look at the spectrum. But Michael is very logical. He's very good at being like all the way on the logic side. I wouldn't know what he's doing like personally in his life. I think he has a spiritual personal life. Like I know he's a Christian and stuff, so he might have like a spirituality personally, but on the internet and stuff, he's definitely very red pill logic based, I think. And he's probably the most logic based because he actually goes by Dr. David Buss's shit, and he actually goes by he brings up pre-selection and stuff. He's probably one of the most logical of all of them, in my opinion. And then under him, I would say like Rolo, and under Rolo, I would say like Myron. If I was like putting them all on the logic side of the spectrum. But now, if we're looking on the complete opposite side, I feel like y'all aren't going to have the same answers as me on this one, because a lot of people don't think the way that I do, I feel like, on this one. But maybe I'm wrong. Who do y'all think is on the spirituality side of the red pill spectrum? And you might be surprised here. You might not even think that these type of people are super spiritual, but they talk about the manifestation stuff. Like they talk about those things a lot. We'll start with you this time. Who do you think?
I don't know if you would consider him part of red pill or whatever. I've just been seeing a lot more of exposure from his side. Destiny, been seeing, and he tends to go off of a lot of beliefs.
I wouldn't say he's like red pill though. Like,
right?
So like do somebody who's more in the manosphere, who like teaches male self improvement or something like that.
More spirituality, maybe. Well, again, I don't think he will be considered red pill, but I was thinking Patrick Bet David. But
I guess you can kind of consider him a little
trying
bit.
to dip his toes in there, but he does try to give a little bit more of that spirituality. Of you got to dip in. So
well, this was a hard question on purpose. So
Yeah.
I'm happy that you're struggling with it. What do you think?
Only person I can think of that comes to mind is probably Hafiz.
Hafiz.
Yeah, because like, you know, he believe in like getting married
Very
like in law
Christian.
and all that shit.
That's a good
Like
one.
just take the dib, dive in it, and all that shit. Even though he knows how shit works, so I would definitely say him.
Yeah, it's kind of fucked up to lead guys to the wolves, huh?
Yeah,
Fucking lead them into the fire. Go get married, guys.
yeah.
No, guys, let's change the laws first, and then we'll get married. That's
And
another
that's
thing that I preach a lot is we gotta change the
where I
laws,
think
man.
he might be leading them a little bit wrong is they making them want to believe too hard that it's possible
Yeah.
without actually putting in the work and making yourself a representative of I deserve or not deserve. I demand that you treat me with a certain respect because of what I've built myself up to be and what I can provide.
I'm sure he tries to teach the guys that. I don't know what his program's like, but maybe, yeah. I mean, it's leading guys to the fire. Period. If you're preaching marriage, in my opinion, it's just that's why, like, y'all know how much my whole show's based off of relationships, but y'all don't ever see me sitting here telling guys to marry women because I know that it's fucking dangerous as fuck. Like, it's not a good prescription to give to any guy until we change the laws. That's why we're solution based men. And what do we talk about? Getting into politics, getting into changing the laws, doing things that are actually going to change shit. Unlike the rest of the manosphere and red pillars that are scared little bitches that just do shit for clicks. But yeah, what about you? What do you think is like a guy that's on the spiritual side of red pill?
I have a hard time coming up with an answer for this one, but
I knew this it was going to be a struggle
it's
for everybody.
I would probably say just the tradcons in general.
Just the tradcons in
Yeah,
general.
yeah.
So like this is about to blow y'all's mind. So who's really on that side, but you would never think it is Andrew Tate.
Mm.
And one of the biggest reasons why I can prove it is because if you look at any type of history, if you read about any Sanskrit, anything from like India, Hindu, or like Buddhism or anything like that, a lot of his philosophy, a lot of his stuff, if you look at like what he teaches, like what's his little joke thing? He made like a little comic book where he's like from Wuhan or whatever the fuck
Yeah,
it is.
yeah.
But all that stuff is all based off of very manifestations, like his like 5 tenets of Tater, or I don't know what it's called, like
41.
or like we're not even just the 40. Like there's another thing that he follows too. But like all those things, like there's a video I saw and it was like 4 or 5 things. He's like, you have to do these things and you'll be fine. And they were all very much Buddhist ideology things, like almost manifestation. Like
Yeah.
you have to think you're the shit before you're the shit. All this stuff is very. We make fun of bitches all the time on this panel for saying some of this shit. But when Tate says it, we respect it. And I've always said these things too. Like there's a spirituality side to all this stuff, and just certain people are going over to that right now. I would say Tate is in it right now. Jay Waller. There's a lot of people who I see like basically anybody that's pushing kind of relationships now. Sneeko has kind of gone over to this now after what he just did.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people swapping to this spiritual side of red pill, and really all it is just accepting that we can't just all go by logic, guys. We need to be prepared to. We shouldn't get vasectomies at 20 or in our 20s because we might have families later.
Yeah.
Like a legacy is a big deal. Like we do want kids, and like I understand it's really hard to have kids today, but there's definitely ways to make it happen. Like the biggest problem, guys, is when you're red pill aware, you won't fuck up. A lot of y'all are so scared to fucking be around women or get with women or something. When if you're red pill aware, you won't fuck up. If you know all the things about women, you're not gonna make the same mistakes that you made when you were that fucking blue pill simp that like got used. Like you just have to be red pill aware and not be a dumbass. Like to me, it's crazy that guys learn all this stuff and then they're scared of women. If I learned all this stuff, I would be fucking with them even harder. Like because like then you know all the tricks and secrets and the cheat codes.
Exactly.
It's crazy that like it actually deters some men sometimes. Like, oh, they're all hoes. I'm just gonna sit in my basement longer. It's like, oh my god, you're retarded.
And that's where I think it's different from just believing it'll happen and believing you'll find a girl that'll naturally fall into your frame and actually putting it into practice. Like I mentioned, demanding that, hey, it's gonna be this certain way, or I'm just not gonna put up with it.
Mm.
Just as much as you're free to do whatever you want, I'm free to make the decision to I don't want to spend any more time with you, any more energy, any more effort with you, just that quickly. So that's where the demand is. It's just not straight up. This is what you need to do. It's just a matter of this is what I want, and if you're not willing to do it, that's fine. I'm not willing to lose, or I'm not willing to force you to stay. Go ahead. Go ahead and go find somebody else. But guys need to make sure they put it into practice. Don't expect it to just fall in your lap. You have to make sure that you have your frame set to where anybody that interacts with you, they kind of feel it automatically. That's where your belief does come into place. If I make my frame set for no matter who's interacting with me, they're going to understand, they're going to feel the type of person that I am. That's where that belief does come into play a little bit.
Yeah, and I think that's a big problem with the red pill is where guys become red pill aware, and they find it easier to just say, well, these women ain't shit. So instead of going out there and putting it
easy.
into practice, they just
So it
just
still
sit in their basement and
comes back
talk
to
shit
each
on
and every
YouTube.
man.
Yeah,
It still comes back to
Yeah.
you. What are you doing? How come you're quick to blame everybody else and everything else? How come
Very
you don't
feminine
look
trait.
into
Yeah,
yourself?
exactly.
Yeah,
It's
a
look
very
into
feminine
yourself.
Makes
trait.
you no
High
different than
key.
the women
Yeah.
on the show.
Yeah. You
Exactly.
just don't want to, like, guys, as a man, you just shouldn't ever complain. Like, literally, period. You just shouldn't complain. Like the fact, like, I look feminine as fuck complaining to the women on the show sometimes. Like, it's not masculine. I do this because I feel like I have to do this. Like, it's something that needs
You
to be
said
done in
about
the
me.
world. But most of y'all should not be complaining to these women about any of the shit that they're doing. You should just be making yourself the best you could be. And as I teach y'all all the time, there are places where there are good women. You can catch these girls before they climb the fuck girl tier list. As I say, like, there's y'all can find them, but if y'all don't fucking put yourself out there and be social, you're not gonna ever find them. This is actually a good topic I want to swing into because I wanted him on the panel today, guys, because he's part of MOA, which is a big group that teaches pre-selection and social circle game, guys. This is a big deal today that nobody. How old are you?
26.
He is 26 years old, guys, and he's already starting to utilize pre-selection and social circle game. Most people, like, in his age bracket, are not doing anything close to this. They're not being friends with women at all. They're not trying to use relationships to leverage for them to move up in society, them to move up their status. That's how women know you're safe, guys. They, like, in today's day and age, when there's all types of weird autists and weirdos and shit like this, and guys fucking literally stalking them and stuff. They want to go towards guys that are pre-selected, that are it's very, very safe for them. Why, if you were a woman, why would you go to the random dude that fucking just hits you up on Instagram, or the random dude that just hits you up on a dating app? It's way safer to go into the guy. And, like, remember, as we always say, hot girls are not on dating apps, guys. They're not. I can tell you because I'm friends with tons of them. They don't ever use them. They've never used one before. They all find guys in real life. That's where all the cool people are.
Hey y'all, Sergio here. I just want to mention I've created a completely free guide that shows you exactly how I went from having low confidence and being painfully awkward around women to easily meeting and dating numerous high quality desirable women in real life without the use of any dating apps or social media. So if you're struggling to get out there, if you have approach anxiety or don't know what to say or how to interact with women to make them want you, and are sick of using dating apps with low value girls that hundreds of other guys have been chatting with, click the link in the description below to grab your free guide right now. And if you want private mentorship with me personally to help guide you every step of the way in this process, check out my mentorship program in the description too. I would be happy to help you reach your dating goals and overcome any obstacle you may face. And trust me, if I can do it, you can do it too. I hope to see you soon. Peace out.